and welcome to Sports Hub. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Modern Singala. We are back with yet another exciting program for today, and we have an exciting guest today. He is a former Afcon winner. He won it with Zambia in 2012. So you'll be able to see him. I'll be introducing him shortly, but we'll start with another interesting segment where we look at what's trending in sports. And I have a collabo today. Our usual Julius Malulu, and he's accompanied by Ruth Kalivange. Wow, what an interesting collabo. Julius, welcome to Sports Hub.
Thank you very much, Modern, for having me. Good evening to you, and it's good to be back. I think I missed the show last week.
Yes.
And I missed you too as well, so it's good to be back, and looking forward to having a fruitful interaction right here on the show.
Indeed. Ruth, welcoming you to Sports Hub for the very first time.
Thank you so much, Modern. I'm very excited to be here. I can't wait to share what's been trending in the world of sports.
Indeed. So, Ruth making a debut. So, Julius, it's over to you.
Thank you very much.
Football and handball.
But for now, so we have so much lined up in as far as social media gossip is concerned, Modern. We have the issue of our very own Fashion Sakala, but quickly, I'll allow my colleague Ruth to quickly take us through the story for Fashion Sakala. Ruth, over to you.
Thank you. Modern, this is a very interesting story that has been happening, and our brother has been in the news lately. You know, he's been trending, and not because of his professional, playing, but because of his personal life. So this is very interesting. There's a story going on about a lady who has been warned and cautioned by the police. The lady is allegedly to have promised her brother that she will pay him 20,000 kwacha if the brother broke Fashion Sakala's legs. We're not his legs. I mean, we're not talking about any other person. I know breaking somebody's legs is not a good idea, but I mean, we're talking about Fashion Sakala. That's literally the man's paycheck.
Yes.
So I don't know. What's your take on this?
But then, and actually, Ruth, Fashion has actually been having Fashion has actually been having more game time with the new coach. Remember that Rangers FC, his team, have got a new coach now, and he started having more game time. He's actually been doing very well. He's been scoring goals and assisting. So really, I think this is really disturbing for our very own. But just back to you, Ruth. Really, why would you ladies really get to such an extent? Why would you hit a guy like that? Really?
I mean,
I'm also interested to know. Ruth, tell us. You are a lady.
Let's get it from Ruth. Yeah, let's get it from Ruth. Ruth, being a lady, she's going to represent the culprit here.
Okay, I really don't know what led to the lady, conspiring or whatever she did to try and convince her brother to break Fashion Sakala's legs. I mean, he's an icon. His legs are his precious. I don't know really what happened, but I'm sure she was really upset for her to go to such an extent. But the brother was kind enough to alert the police, which led the woman to be summoned. And we just wish.
But do you really think ladies do go to such extent?
Of course.
Or maybe there should be some forces somewhere. Maybe the people are trying to push her to do that, or maybe
that would be possible. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. It's possible that she was pushed by somebody. Again, we don't know the full story, so we're just speculating at this moment.
Anyway, there's a statement already that's been issued by the police, so we wait and see. They're investigating the case, so we wait and see, and we hope that the culprit will be brought to book. Ruth, you had a story for us, an interesting story, as far as athletics is concerned.
We cannot talk about sports without talking about my favorite sport. I mean, I know Modern and Julius, you might not know this, but you're looking at the former gold medalist. I was really tough.
Okay, great. We have to get back to the small, to the smaller Ruth Kalivange.
Hopefully,
but then Ruth Gwedeza.
On yesterday, on the 29th and on the 28th, we witnessed the all-comers meet competition that was held at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. And we witnessed over 3,000 athletes come together to compete for various categories. Among the people that were participating in this competition, the elite as well as the juniors. We saw the likes of Justice Chivwamba as well as Simkonga. The Commonwealth.
Samukonga, the Commonwealth
Yes, and he defended
and African champion.
Exactly, he defended his title. So it was really interesting. And we also see Sydney Siame being beaten by Chivwamba. So it was really an interesting moment yesterday. And also we had ladies.
That's Lumeka Katundu.
Lumeka Katundu, I know, right?
What's around her waist?
These are, I think they're called fashion beads. I'm not really sure why she wore them, but I think they just add a little beauty
But is
to
it
her.
allowed? Is it allowed?
Well, I'm not really sure if it's I mean, if she went on the pitch like this,
Because,
then
and that's in Africa, we think it's
like
juju, and she won a gold medal, not?
she did. She actually qualified. She's one of the people that qualified for the all Ghana.
We have to ask Lumeka nicely what that is.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
okay.
Right, Modern. So back to football. We have our very own Ivan Skangwa, who has left his former side, Arsenal Tula. If you remember that he did join, he did join the Russian side in 2017. He's been there for like 6 years, and this is a player that has really contributed so much to Zambian football. He's just not a player on the field, but then he's also he's got a heart to produce, you know, young star players. So really, we're hoping to see which team he's going to join next. Obviously, you know how social media is. There are other fans, Modern, that are calling for him maybe to go back to his former side. Remember that even before he joined the Russian side, he was on the books of Nkana Football Club. So some people are saying maybe he should go back and help the struggling Nkana Football Club, of which we don't know his next move. But then, is it fortunately or unfortunately, he's left the Russian side and he's yet to announce which team he's yet to join. Still talking about football, Modern, we have our very own Kennedy Musonda, former Power Dynamos player who scored for his team. Finally, remember that this is a top scorer in as far as the Zambian league is concerned. Power Dynamos have lost him, and they haven't collected maximum points in the past.
He's left a huge gap.
games.
From the time he left, Power is yet to score.
Exactly. So already that shows you that really that's a big gap that he left. We're happy for him that he scored, and we're hoping that he's going to continue making the country proud. What we need more than are players to play for the national team. And with the new coach that has come, players should be able to be picked based on merit. And this is what we want. So Kennedy Musonda, this is a good thing and a good step in the right direction. I'm wishing him all the very best. Still talking about football, Modern, we have our very own Lazarus Kambole. All right, now this guy was with Zesco United. He left Zesco, he joined Kaizer Chiefs, and he joined the Tanzanian side. He didn't play much active football. He's now back at Zesco United, and he scored his first goal when Zesco played Lumwana Radiant. So it's good to see Lazi back, and hoping that he's going to continue terrorizing those defenders in as far as the Super League is concerned. Modern, this is what we had in as far as social media gossip is concerned. I think lastly, we have an issue. Remember that the coaches have actually complained about some stadiums, all right? I remember there's a narco coach, Kelvin Kaindu, did complain about some stadiums that there's too much water, you know, when teams are playing, and obviously according to him, he says players are not able to showcase their skills. But anyway, I don't think we should be able to blame the rains, really. I mean, if it's rain season, so really players should be able to. And that's
Super League football.
Of course.
I'd like to hear Ruth's take on that.
I mean, this is not a conducive environment for, ask me, this is not a good environment for players. I mean, the pitch should provide all the necessities, the good environment for the players to compete nicely. We don't want them to be blaming the rains and say it's because of the rains why we failed to perform. We want them to have everything that they're supposed to have so that they can compete nicely and not put the blame on other things.
Modern, I think what you should do is since we have a 2012 Afcon winner in the studio, so what you should do is maybe pose this question to him. Let him give us his take on what he thinks, you know, because I mean, obviously he's played before in the Rens before, and maybe he should share his experience of how it feels to play in the Rens, and then maybe from there we'll be able to pick up something. But in as far as social media gossip is concerned, or what's trending on social media more than, this is what we had from me and my colleague Ruth.
Thank you very much, guys, and see you next week as you bring us juicy stories regarding what is trending in sports.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's recap on last week's question. I asked you to identify the sportsman on the photo. We just recap, who is that sportsman on the photo? And I have an interesting response here from Steve Waluvita of Choma, Southern Province, who says, Babo Malitori. Interesting. I'm happy that at least you tried. Well, the answer is not correct, but at least you tried. He is also Babo Malitori is a former Chipolopolo player. That one is also a former Chipolopolo player. The correct answer is Charles Musonda. So he's regarded as one of the best midfielders Zambia has ever produced. He made his debut for Zambia in 1988, but his career with the national team only lasted up to 1993. Born on 22nd August 1969, Musonda played for Mufulira Wanderers, played for Cercle Bruges in Belgium from 1986 to 1987, then went to Anderlecht in 1987 up to 1997. Then from 1996 to 1997, he played for Sacramento Scorpions. Then he ended up with Energy Cottbus. That's in Belgium when he retired in 1988. So that's about Charles Musonda. He has 3 sons who've been playing football, and one prominent one is Charlie Musonda Jr., who played for Chelsea, went to Real Betis in Spain, also went to Scotland, but because of injuries, he hasn't blossomed to a player we would want him to be. So today I have another photo for you. I want you to identify another football legend. Who is that legend? He's the legend of Zambian football. Who is he? You can call us on 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43. On Facebook is Sports Hub Facebook page on Modern Sinkala Sports. Then you reach us and we'll be able to read your messages. So thanks to Steve Waluvita of Choma who tried. So try again. Maybe you may recognize that one. So send us a message on WhatsApp 0955 20 29 04. Then Facebook Modern Sinkala Sports or Sports Hub Facebook page. Let's look at what happened at the weekend. In the MTN Super League Week 21 results on Saturday, it was FC Muza nil, Power Dynamos nil. Power Dynamos recording their 5th consecutive draw. And then Green Eagles 2, Napsa Stars 2. Simon Nkata, Aaron Musore, Lewis Macha, Musonda Kapembwa all on the score sheet. Then Lumwana Radiants 1, Zesco United 1, Changa Rangers 3, Chambishi 3, Nkana 1, Green Buffaloes 1, Nkwazi nil, Kansanchi Dynamos 1, Prison Leopards 2, and Buttecon nil, Red Arrows 1, Kabwe Warriors nil. Then on Sunday it was Forest Rangers 1, Zanaco nil. And it looks like we may have a phone. Oh, we have a caller already. Hello, welcome to Sports Hub. It looks like we may have.
Hello?
Hello, good evening and welcome to Sports Hub.
Yes.
All right, kindly reduce the volume on your TV. It's giving us feedback.
Hello?
Okay, we can get you clearly now. Where your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling you from Lusaka, but I'm from Sorowezi.
Your name again?
Matthews from Sorowezi, but I'm in Lusaka right now.
Okay. Matthews, go ahead.
That player is Kenneth Babo Marito. The time was playing in...
Okay, great. What do you remember about Kenneth Babo Maritori?
Kenneth Babo Maritori, I remember time 1993, Gabonia disaster. The time we played the final between
Zambia and Nigeria.
1994 when we played the final against the
Nigeria.
Don't tell me what to say. You are telling me what to say.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Let's hear also from others. So Matthew says Babo Maritori. Let's hear from others.
Babo Maritori.
Okay.
That jersey is the time we was playing Egypt.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming through. At least Matthews from Solwezi, but he's in Lusaka now, giving us a take on the photo that we showed you. Right, so I was giving you the results in the MTN Super League. Let's now look at the National Division 1 League Week 21 results. On Saturday, it was Zesco Malaiti Rangers 1, Jomolo 0, Aguila Stars 1, Quito United 0, Trident 2, Mutondo Stars 1, Indeni 1, Konkola Blades 0, Livingstone Pirates 1, Young Green Buffaloes 0. Then on Sunday, it was Mufulira Wanderers bashing City of Lusaka by 4 goals to 1, Bats 2, Kafue Celtic 0, Kafue Eagles 1, Lusaka Dynamos 0. Then the game between Mpulungu Harbour and Atletico Lusaka was postponed. Let's go to the Women's Super League with 19 results. Busa Queens 2, Yasa Queens 0, Green Eagles 1, National Assembly 1, Zanaco 2, Elite Ladies 1, Green Buffaloes 5, Mufulira Wanderers 0, then Nkwazi Queens 1, Zescondola Girls 2, Played Forward 0, Indeni Roses 1, then Queens Sports Academy 1, Prison Leopards Queens 0, Trident Queens 0, Police Doves 0, ZISD Women 0, Red Arrows 6. There were reigning goals in the Women's League. Let's now go to the African Nations Championship. Zambia is not there, but our very own Matimba Nkonje is there doing the commentaries. And during the quarterfinals, it was Algeria 1, Cote d'Ivoire 0. Algeria scoring through a penalty. Senegal 1, Mauritania 0. On Saturday, it was Madagascar 3, Mozambique 1, Niger 2, Ghana 0. Semi-finals will be played tomorrow at 18 hours. It will be Algeria, the hosts, versus Niger, and 21 hours to be Senegal versus Madagascar. That's in the African Nations Championship. Now let's end with the English FA Cup results. On Friday, it was Manchester City 1 and Arsenal 0. Then Saturday, Leicester City, it was Warsaw 0, Leicester City 1, and then Luton Town 2, Grimsby Town 2, Fulham 1, Sunderland 1, and then Blackburn Rovers 2, Birmingham City 2, then Preston North End 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Manchester United 3, Reading 1. On Sunday, it was Leeds United 0, Brentford 0, Manchester City 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Arsenal 3, and Manchester United 2. Monday, it was Derby County. Actually, tonight, actually, at 21:45, Derby County are playing West Ham United. So it will be kicking off in a few minutes' time. Okay, so those were the results from the weekend. Before I introduce my guest in the studio, let's dance to a song which was an anthem then in 2012. Vuvuzela by 1J. It became an anthem when Zambia was playing in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea.
Zambia tupondo, umfa vuvuzela. Msoli wa Chisungu Chachine Kulumpe wa Zambia walulavu opponenti na alala Chachine Kipa na Shipula Chachine Nasi Mkimana Chachine Seni tubalonge Chachine Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola
Nyembo za chikata Bishop Latin kama vikapa Charity Mukabin Latin kama vikapa iwe tewa bola fie Ngetira tewa bola fie Bala baturi munchande Leta Mufwapa Wanza wa dokta Wa boxa na wa businessi Ukulunda pofenya ma teachers Kundumwaya kufyala fyawele bige We wish you best Iwanangu pakubwela bonse Mutende fyo mutende Imwe bonse bakateka Maambasada na ba masambirilo Hey, leteni fyuma Ifya buyantanshi Shimba, leteni koma vikapa
Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola Zambia balange Ea bola Ea bola vuvuzela Ea bola vuvuzela Ea bola vuvuzela Ea bola vuvuzela Alora tamba muchitenge Chachine abantu ni chibiri Nachifwenge muka nabasangalala Chachine Basambia tukondo Chachine Umfa vuvuzela Chachine Msoli wa Chisungu Chachine Kulumpe wa Zambia walulavu opponenti na alala Chachine Kipa na Shipula Chachine Nasi Mkimana Chachine Seni tubalonge Chachine Zambia balange Ea bola 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 Zambia
That's 1J there with Vuvuzela. Well, it was an anthem that time in 2012 when Zambia was in Equatorial Guinea and Gabon doing wonders. And one interesting thing, the girls who were in that video at that point were under 20s, Helen Muwanga and others. I think they even played Zone 6 games, but this time they are now in the senior team. They are the main ones now. And may her soul rest in peace, Angela Sunga was one of the assistant coaches there. She is late, but the other lady, Florence, is the assistant coach now for the senior women's national football team. Time for me to welcome my guest in the studio. Like I said earlier on, he is a 2012 Afcon winner, former Chipolopolo defender. He's played for a number of clubs, and one of the clubs in Zambia where he's prominent is Kabwe Warriors, and in Kabwe they call him Modibo. I'm talking about Chintu Kampamba. So let me just welcome him. It's good to have you. He's now a coach, a young NAPSA coach. Actually, he should have been the main NAPSA coach, but we'll find out why. Chintu, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
So Chintu Kampamba.
Yeah.
First of all, let's start with the name. Are you Chintu Kampamba or Kampamba Chintu?
Actually, thank you very much. It's good to be here. Actually, my name's Kampamba Chintu.
Okay, so Kampamba is your first name.
Kampamba is my name.
Chintu
and
surname.
is family name. Yeah.
But people know you as, people think maybe Chintu is your first name. Maybe Chintu is easier to pronounce.
Of course, it was easier to pronounce when I went out. But of course, here also, I think the thing, most of the thing that influence was because of the likes of Gift Kampamba, Tom Kampamba, and the likes, you know. So everyone thought maybe the Kampamba was the surname. So
I
so,
see.
So those days, you know, we used to have at Kawaras with two Kampambas, Tom Kampamba, and then at Nkana also under 20 with the Gift Kampamba. So everyone thought it was the Kampamba should be the surname, but actually for me, Kampamba was my first name. Yeah.
Right, I see. So give us your background. People know you in football circles as Kampamba Chintu, but give us your background. When were you born? Where were you born? In which neighborhood? How was your upbringing like?
Yeah, actually my elder brother, immediate brother, the elder brother is the one who is Chintu.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Chintu.
Chintu. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Chintu mwe.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Okay, yeah, you know, ish. Of course, I was born in Kabwe. I started school there in Kabwe. I started playing my soccer career at Young Kabwe Warriors. My neighborhood was, I think Dad was working in agriculture in government. He was a provincial agriculture officer. So yeah, my background was quite good. So my mother was a very strong Christian. So the Christian values were laid. The foundation was laid. So
Right.
yeah. So
How many are you in the family?
we're 11.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
11,
That's a football team,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I'm the seventh born.
Okay.
Yeah, of the 11. Yeah, I think 5 boys, 6 girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it growing in Kawa? Which compound was it? Was it Makululu? Was it Polen? Was it Bwacha? Was it?
Unfortunately, I never grew up in the compounds. I grew up in the suburbs because Dad had a very good position in the government. So yeah, like I was saying, he gave us a good life. He was a man of principle, and he always insisted on us getting a good education. And for him, football was not an option.
Really? So,
Yeah.
so how did you start playing football? Did you start with Chimpombo like others?
Of course, you know, in our neighborhood, you know how it is, how it was, you know, those days. There were a lot of kids, so we used to go play. We had a police camp nearby. We had, you know, so those are the areas that we used to go. But we knew that once we go there, after the game, we win, whether we win or lose, we're going to be beaten. So you know, after the game, they'll chase you. You know, it was fun like that. But again, it was challenging because you know how it was in those days.
Tell us about that odd photo. Where was that and what was happening?
Yeah, that was Cabo Warriors. It was you can see I'm there on the far right and
On the far right?
yeah, no, is that's left on the far right in the checked, and then in white there's Robbie Kapungwe and late Patrick Tembo, of course another late Limbi Mbewe, and then that was my still my best friend Kenneth Kalama. He's now based in Australia, but he's now back. He came to visit, so a couple of days I was with him.
So
Yeah,
those
he
are
was
your
my-
early days.
Yeah, he was my housemate as well. So yeah, his brother and my brother also, they were in the same school. So it was like a family thing. So we like brothers, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were young, just starting out, you said your father was strict. How did you achieve it? Because obviously he was stopping. No, don't play football. You have to concentrate on school. So how did you manage it?
But of course, what made it easier was I had to balance education. And, you know, if I don't get good grades in schools, then I won't play football. So once I get good grades in schools, he was a little bit lenient, but he never knew that I used to sneak out, you know, to go and play football. But most of the time I used to sneak. Yeah, because Saturdays, you know, weekends, because he was a very busy man. He used to move around being the provincial agriculture officer. So he used to make a lot of trips. So yeah, and
Okay, let's go for a break now. We'll be back so to give us that interesting story.
Yeah.
Let's go for a short break. Join us shortly. As TV3, we're at the center of sports. Let's kick off together.
Professional golfers strike and discuss business on a golf course. As TV3, we're there to offer you a platform to putt for a high score.
As we shoot and aim high.
we shall aim to port for a right.
As TV3, we are moving at high speed with you.
All this and much more exclusive on TV3. TV3, discover the difference.
As TV3, we're at the center of sports. Let's kick off together.
Professional golfers strike and discuss business on a golf course. As TV3, we're there to offer you a platform to putt for a high score.
As we shoot and aim high.
We shall aim to port for a right.
As TV3, we are moving at high speed with you.
All this and much more exclusive on TV3. TV3, discover the difference.
Staying with us, featuring Chintu Kampamba, or Kampamba Chintu, who is a former Chipolopolo defender and also won the Afcon trophy with Zambia. So earlier you were telling us about how your dad was strict. What about your mom? Was she supportive?
Of course, my mom, you know, she was also supportive in education, and you know, always mothers always defend their boys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she encouraged me in such a way that, you know, every time when I say I'm going to play football, then she'll prepare quickly a meal for me. They never wanted me to go on an empty stomach. So yeah, she really supported me in those lines.
Right. Okay, so run us through the, did you start from an academy like it is now? How did you go into professional football?
Yeah, of course. I think we had a very good program that, you know, when Jack Tanda came, you know, the Young Warriors, you know, Youth Academy. It was, I think that's where they did a very good job on us. We learned a lot of basics. And
was that at Young Warriors?
Yeah, no, that was Kaw Warriors Senior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Kaw Warriors Senior. You know, at the Young Warriors level, it was, you know, we were being, you know, groomed by Coach Peter Mlimba. And then he came the late, you know, Abi Banda, also the late, you know, Jackie Mbewe. Also Matthews Njovu was my coach as well at the Young Warriors. You know, I've gone through hands of a lot of, you know, great players and great people. So Jack Chanda was there. You know, he's the one who initiated, you know, the youth team who came, got through Yuka Chitalu. You know, those times, you know, they were, you know, very much interested in the youth development. So yeah, I think that's where, you know, the foundation was done best on in terms of basics, in terms of leading, you know, passing, control, and yeah, getting there. You know, I think the Kaw Warriors had a very good program for the youth.
Right. So you can run us through now through the rest of the clubs that you played for.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, those days it was not easy, you know, to break into the senior team. I remember in 1996. Yeah, you know, Kaw Warriors, it was quite hard for me to break into the team. So I had a very good friend of mine, Dio Mkwasa. He had gone to Rail Express. So there, you know, by then there was Webi Chilfi as a coach. So he put a word for me. I've got a friend of mine, he wants to come and play. So at Kaw Warriors, by then, you know, we had Matthews Kasoka. Yeah, he didn't want me to go. Then I had to go. I just had to sneak out. And then, you know, those days, you know, for you to get clearance, and then I had to lie that I've gone for my brother's funeral because the daughter died. So I went, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, they're asking for a card for me from Express. And then what's going on? Actually go. They say, let him come back. I said, no, if I go back there, they won't just try to get the card for me. So weekend, we're playing Ron United. Fortunately, they got a card for me. And that's how I started, you know, at Rail Express. Because at Car Warriors, then, you know, it was very difficult for me to get into the team. Yeah, but Rail Express, you know, Webi Chilufia gave me a chance to play Premier Football. So it was September, you know, just a few months to the closure of the season. So from there, I played most of the games, and then there was one time we played a friendly against Car Warriors. We came to Car Warriors, had a very good game. So the officials, the coach, Matthews Kasoka, just wanted me back. At the end of the season, they said, you're coming back. I didn't want to go back because I knew it was hard for me to. Yes, there
were tough defenders there.
Happiness Chikolo, Joseph Warrior, Cyborg. But in next match, I said, no, I'm not game time here. I want to go where I can have game time. Then the coach, Matthews Kasoka, sat me down and said, every coach wants to make his own player. You are the player that I want, you know, to groom. So rest assured you, I've got so much interest in your career, and I'll make sure that, you know, you do well. So that's how he convinced me to stay at Car Warriors. Yeah, right. And that's how my journey started.
Tell us about your nickname, Modibo. How did it come about?
Yeah, Modibo. You remember, you know, the Tunis '94. Yeah, Mali. They had a very good captain, Modibo Sedibe. Yeah, the right back. He was playing good football. So yeah, you know, when watching, you know, he and in fact they've even named the stadium after him in Mali. So yeah, he had a very good tournament. So yeah, I liked him. Yeah, so and I liked him, Modibo and Tariboist. So it was, you know, closer to that, but I just called myself, you know, like. Yeah.
So you named it yourself.
I just said no. Yeah, I said no now. But at Car Warriors, the name that was popularly, you know, called was Central.
Oh, Central.
Yeah, Central defender, you know, Central and Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo after Mwelom Peter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the positioning, when you started, how did you think of, you know, playing as a defender? Who inspired you to be a defender?
Actually, I was a midfielder when I started. The way I went to play in defense was at school. In grade 7, you know, we went to play a game. I was in the reserves. So we played a game. They had a very good game in the midfield. And then the senior team, you know how it was those days. The reserves, you play without a shirt. You know, the senior team, the A team, they'll come with a jersey. You know, just, you know, and then the left back did not show up. So the teacher said, who can play left back? They said, I can. I will catch there, I can be. And you know, those days, there were big boys in grade 7. So I had to get into the left back. So that's how I started playing as a defender. From that time, that's how I was, you know, converted into a left back.
Right.
Yeah.
So from Car Warriors, how did you move? And by the way, did you use any juju? Since there were big people then and big defenders, did you consult a spiritualist to give you something so you can cement your position?
Yeah, I used some juju. Yeah, God.
You used once?
God.
A lot?
God was my juju. Yeah, no. You know, like I said, coming from a background of a Christian home, that was in the Go area. So yeah, it was hard. It was really hard, but you know, with you know, just the trust in the Lord, he got me through. But it was not easy. There were those ups and downs, where you have injuries. People tell you this is happening, but you just need to stay and believe that I'll be okay.
Okay, but obviously you could hear some people that know they're using juju. Maybe when you're entering a certain stadium, you go backwards.
Of course, those days it was common. Yeah, it was common, and it was more like it was like normal, you know, to play like that. And we found it. We could not change anything. But until the time when Wesley Mondo came, and he changed everything.
So okay, how do you do it in this instance? Okay, you don't believe in it, you're a Christian, but the whole team believes in it and you have to do certain rituals. How do you fit in that case?
I mean, for me, it's if someone believes in what they believe, I cannot change them, but I can only advise. If he wants to listen, he listens, but I have my own faith. If he has his faith in that, we'll see how far it will take him. Yeah, because it doesn't last long. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. So tell us, after Cabo Warriors, where else did you go?
Yeah, after Cabo Warriors, my career started going nicely. Under 17, I was a captain. From under 17, under 20. Under 20, I was the vice.
Is that under 17 or under?
Yeah,
20?
that's under 17. That was at no. This is under 20. This at Afcon before we qualified for the World Cup. Yeah, this was an amazing team. I'm telling you. There, I can see there's Molife on the far end.
On the left?
On the left, yeah, in the track top. Molife with the gloves, the goalkeeper, and then Aaron Simtowe, the light guy. The late Aaron Simtowe. Then you have Emmanuel Zulu. Then far behind is Festus Mangamu. Then we have Ezi Lundu, Date Charles and so forth, and that's me there. Before we played, I think this was Malawi game. Yeah.
Cream de la cream of players.
Yeah, yeah.
This was ahead of is it 1999?
1999. This
under 20.
Yes, this was 1999.
Under Patrick Peary.
Under Patrick Peary, there was Patrick Peary, there was Shambo, Peter Kaumba.
Okay.
Yeah.
And missing on the photo, obviously,
Ian Bakala. No, Moses wasn't in our. Moses was
Andrew Sinkala.
Andrew Sinkala was there. Evans Mwaba, Ronald Mbambara, Wanda. Who else? Osia Siame, Ken Zimba. We had a very good squad,
Great, and you were part of the final tournament in Nigeria.
Yes, we could have gone through to the next round. We won one, we drew one, and we lost one, but it was just a big margin. So we lost on the second best that we considered more goals. Yeah.
Was it at that's at the World Cup?
That was at the World Cup. Yeah.
Tell us about the Ronaldinho story. We just hear that when you went there, you played Brazil and lost terribly. And we just hear people are saying tell us about that story.
Yeah, but of course he was also young, and that's when he was building up his career. We were just hearing about him, but I think we managed him well as a team. We just became complacent once because we started very well. We were leading the game. And then towards, I think, last 10 minutes, that's when they scored us. We got excited and we got carried away. So the concentration levels were a little bit, being young, and we're a bit excited. So we could not manage the game well in the second half. Yeah, but games.
The first two you hell at the back there.
Not really, because I think he was substituted. He was substituted because not really, but he scored a goal. I remember he scored a goal from a cross. He scored a goal, but I think we managed him very well with Evans Mwaba and the likes of Aaron. Is it Aaron or Ken was on the left. Mishek Long was on the right. Yeah, so we had quite a good defense, but of course they were just very clinical. Okay. When it came to finishing, but we had so many chances that we could have also scored, but we how we squandered chances, Zambians.
Okay, then you also had the stint in South Africa?
Yeah, I had a stint first in Sweden. I had a stint in Sweden, and then that was under 20. The picture, this was the World Cup. That picture
in Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yeah.
And you were wearing just 12.
Yeah, and Evans was wearing just 11, just far behind me. We told each other, "Boy, wakura for 11, kara for 12," because we were playing to center halves.
Right.
Yeah, we had a very good pair of me and him. Unfortunately, his injury, cut his career short.
Okay. Yeah. And I can see another photo where we.
That was at school.
Oh, at school.
Yeah, that was, that we were final at Kampamba Stadium. Those days when we were meeting Kabwe and Highridge, so they, when we were playing at school grounds, it attracted a lot of people. So they said, no, why can't we take it to the stadium? So by this side it will be Highridge, the other side, the other wing it will be Kabwe. It was exciting. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the game.
So Chintu Kampamba is a well-traveled player. So after playing for Kabwe Warriors, went to Sweden, then went to South Africa where he played for Bidvest Beats.
Yes.
And
I started with Golden Arrows.
Golden Arrows.
Then I went to Free State Stars, and then Amazulu, then Bidvest.
Which Zambian players did you find there when you went?
Actually, my going to South Africa was recommended by Davis Pire. He initiated everything. Yeah, they wanted the centre back. By then he was at Golden Arrows, and then he recommended me. That's how I went and got a chance to play in South Africa. And then after that, I went to Free State. Then I came back to Amazulu, back in Durban, and then I went and finished my career in Joburg at Wits.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an amazing journey. Yeah.
Okay.
10 years.
Let's talk about Chipolopolo now. When did you come to the main Chipolopolo setup?
I came to the main Chipolopolo setup after the 1999 All Africa Games, the final that we played against Cameroon in South Africa. By then, Ben Bamfchile was the coach, and Obi Kapita for under 23 and the senior team. So that's the time they were playing our Afcon. So after we played that final, the former president Rupia Banda, and I think we bought the same plane. His son Nenan Banda was my agent, so he called me when we were flying back home. Cause remember also his late wife, they were coming from Africa for some medical checkups. Yeah, so he told me, have you spoken to Nenani? I said, no, you find him. You've got 2 offers, Heta Berlin and IFK Home in Sweden. So he is waiting for you at the airport. You will find him. So as I was going back, because he was in the business class, and then I was going back, then the coach called me, Ben Bamfchile, said, I'm going to include you in the 26-man squad that's going to come for camp for the Afcon. And then we'll take it from there. So I said, okay, by then, it was scary, to get into that national team. That's the time, Kalu, I think that was the time was also ending his career. Yeah, so I said, okay, it's exciting, but it's scary. So, we went for residential camp. We started training, we're camping there at Mila, Lilai, Lilai Lodge, because we're training from Mila ground. So it was exciting and scary, but it built my character, finding, when playing the likes of Modon, the Moapemiti, Elijah Litana, those big gangs, and also when the great came, you could see, okay.
So at least they will come to you, they are not intimidating. They
were very, very, you cannot get it easy. Those days you cannot get it easy. You need to prove.
Really?
You needed to prove, they will tell you, Mwape will tell you straight, nga baba ichimwaleta. Nga bana besko. You say, oh, tubate, okay. Tuala mwana to training gatimu amfuas. So when you're doing a physical training, these guys are telling you the and then the coach is screaming, can you run? Because he knows that you can push more than what you are doing. And then the old guys are telling you, you have to take their pace. And they just told Benny. I watched that time for 3.
Let's fast forward to 2012. The most memorable, and I can see you are there, yes? I can see Mbesuma, I can see Ivan Skango, I can see Kalaba, and you there at the far end.
Yeah.
Tell us about these memories 11 years ago.
I'm telling you, these were great memories. Yeah, this is something that for you to feel it, I think you have to go through it. It was something that people did not believe that we can do it, and it was something that we believed that we can do it, and we became one. We put God first, and you know, the journey was started long time ago. It did not start. It started long time ago. I think it started from 2006 when Carlo came and started, you know, building that team. He left. They came Patrick Perry. You know, the journey started long time ago. From that group, you know, there were 3 generations for me that did very well at youth level, for us to come and combine together and, you know, achieve what we achieved. It was my generation. It's when we were the first one to qualify for the World Cup. Then came Chris's generation. They also did well at under 23. They reached the semi-finals of All Africa Games. And then there was Mayuka's generation, the Stars, with Coach Jojo and them. You know, when they went into the second stage, when Clifford also became the Africa's young player of the year, of the year and the tournament. So these 3 generations, you know, combine them together, and then you put them together. You give them time. They gave us time from 2006. 2007, we're just preparing. We failed. 2006, we failed. 2008, 2010, we started, you know, doing something. Quarterfinals. And then we started believing. And then we stayed together. We became one. We understood each other. We knew each other's strength and each other's weaknesses. So from then we say, okay, let's bring in God. Okay. You know, we started worshiping God. You know,
and I can see you were the praise singer, praise leader.
No, it wasn't me. It was everyone. It was everyone. You know, I think it's maybe sometimes the camera will just focus on you, but it was.
You are known to be the praise leader.
It was a good thing.
Joseph
was very good on that.
Okay.
Joseph from Sonda is a very good singer. Yeah, he was the one who was leading us on that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But would you say, were you not very fit at that tournament? Because you were the senior most, as compared to Hichani Monde and Stopira Sonzu. How many games did you play?
I never played the game.
Never played the game?
I never played the game. Prior to the tournament, remember the last game that we played against Libya in the qualifiers, we collided and I broke my face. So I had an operation. They had to put some plates in my face and then, you know, to reconstruct the face. So it was 3 months before the tournament. So I had to stay away for 2 months without training. Then when Harvey came back, he phoned me, said, I've seen you on TV, you know, because you are fat. And then, but don't worry, you'll be ready by the time we start the tournament. Okay. So yeah, when I healed, but there was that a little bit of fear, you know, for jumping the aerial balls. And then so he decided, okay, the first game he called me, said I'm gonna use Ichani because of we're playing Dembaba and Papi Cisse because of the aerial balls, and they are good in the aerial. Maybe you might
even
be
as you're explaining, let me get the ball. I try you whether you can do ball juggling.
You know.
But Chintu, you coached NAPSA at some point.
Yeah.
And you coached Cabo Warriors as well.
Yes, sir.
But it looks like you can come here as you do the ball juggling. But it looks like you are very unlike when it comes to coaching.
It's not.
People say you failed as a coach.
Is it?
With NAPSA Stars, you were leading by 2-0. Is it 2-0? And then they equalized the Moroccans.
Oh yeah, you know, I know it's not failing. You know, I believe it's not failing. It's a process.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Very quickly, we end with you. Show us some ball juggling even as we close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Niva footballer, but thank you very much. Thank you. So I was hosting Kampamba Chintu, who is former Chipolopolo defender. Now he's a young NAPSA coach.
Former young NAPSA coach.
Oh, now
my contract ended. Yeah.
Oh, so a free agent.
Yeah, I'm a free agent.
So he's a free agent now. Teams, he's up for grabs. Thank you very much. Goodbye. See you next time. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you.